what about education reform, and how does that link into STEM and mathematics? And we'll talk about that. So since day one of this administration, we had $100 billion through the Recovery Act to pay for, to invest in education in 2009. And in thinking about how that money should be spent and what we should be pushing, what we should be asking people to do, what we should be providing incentives for, there were these things called the 4 assurances. So one was around making sure there were great teachers and great leaders in every school, great teacher in every classroom, great leader in every school. Making sure there were high standards and better assessments was the second one. Turning around the lowest performing schools in America. This president has invested billions of dollars in the school turnaround efforts, which have been politically very challenging and very difficult. And then making sure that we had better data systems to actually track student growth, student learning. Right? So those were kind of the 4 assurances from day one. And one of those, as I mentioned, was this idea around standards and assessments. Right? And as you know, we have Common Core standards in mathematics now that are being developed. We've had tests in mathematics through No Child Left Behind for many years. We have assessments, maybe not great assessments, and we're working a lot on that. But this leads to the question of kind of how are we doing? Later today, and I'm probably not supposed to leak this information, but the National Center on Educational Statistics is going to release a report on what's called the long-term trends in education. And it has reading and math over the past 40 years. And basically, it's a pretty flat line creeping up a little bit. For 9-year-olds, it goes up. For 13-year-olds, it goes up. For 17-year-olds, especially in math, it's flat. We do a reasonable job of educating kids until they get into high school, apparently, and then we don't do such a great job, right? So why is this important, and why is math important specifically? The President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology issued a report a couple of years ago about higher education. And one of the things they pointed out was that colleges and universities and the federal government spend about $2 billion a year in remediation, mostly in math. Okay? For students who enter college and are in remedial courses, they only have about a 30% chance of getting a bachelor's degree within 8 years. That's about half the chance of students who don't have to take those remedial courses. So making sure that students are prepared in math when they go on to higher education is an incredibly important issue. And we have to think about how to do that better.